Hello, welcome to Adafruit Show and Tell. We are today's hosts.
Hey guys, it's Noah. I'm Pedro Ruiz. This is the best place to show off your awesome 3D printed projects, electronics, sewing, cosplay, props, or just a tour of your awesome workspace. And kick it off with some Adafruit folks. And if anybody in the community wants to join, go on over to discord.gg/Adafruit and get the link there to join and show off your awesome projects. Let's go ahead and start off with John. Anne, who wants to go first?
John.
John.
I raised my hand. Hello.
There you go. Hey, John. What do you got?
So I've got a couple things I want to show and tell today. One of them is somewhat subtle, but what it is, I have a FruitJam plugged into a camera capture card over over HDMI cable using the FruitJam's output. And what you're seeing right now is actually an OBS session. So I have my camera, but then layered on top of it, I have the output of the FruitJam. So if I enable that, what you're just going to see is a little upper third ticker kind of thing, chiron style thing. If I hit a button on the FruitJam, it's going to switch down to the bottom, except my name.
Nice.
So I'll switch that back up to the top. And the first of all, the idea behind this is when I do my product pick of the week show, there's some info that would be kind of nice to display that we want to grab kind of in real time from the web. So rather than just bake that in as text in my broadcast software, in my case, Wirecast or OBS, like I'm showing right here tonight, the FruitJam will be able to, using Wi-Fi, go up, grab some info using our product's API and display that data. So quantity and the sale price are things that will change from week to week, and the name of it, I believe, comes from whatever the latest product pick is on the web there. I'm working with Tim, actually, Foamy Guy, on this, and the neat thing is that this is actually a green screened or blue screened bit of graphics. So let me just go and adjust one thing real quick here, if I can find it. Where are these filters? I've lost you. There we go. FruitJam. I don't know OBS very well. There it is. Is it under properties? Filters. There you are. So I'm going to turn off the chroma key. So that's actually what's being output from the FruitJam there. I'm still here over on the side. And so I'm just using chroma key. It's kind of the simplest way to not have to worry about cropping dimensions or anything like that. And outputting weird sizes. We're just outputting a 4x3, like 640, 480 type of signal. And then in the software, in the broadcast software, we can go ahead and chroma key, green screen key that out. So that's one thing I'm working on. I'll show this in a little more detail on the workshop show tomorrow. And then one other thing that I've been working on that's a little nearer and dearer to you guys' hearts is some 3D printing stuff. So I've been working on these. I created a parametric tennis ball generator in Rhino Grasshopper so that I can make some juggling balls in different sizes, and I'm going to be putting some electronics in them. The biggest innovation for this, and these will ultimately, I think, be some translucent filaments so that we can do some nice glow effects in them.
Nice.
The idea of being able to put some electronics in there and still access them. I didn't want to really get complicated with drilling ports and putting USB and switches on the sides of it or doing inductive charging. So I just want to be able to open the things. And so I've been working on a couple of ideas of being able to open and close these. And someone, I think Mouse in the chat during one of my shows, came up with using some rubber bands around the exterior. So I have some little grooves for that. But then my buddy Todd Kurt said, hey, what about doing a snap fit thing? So I just added some little nubs that you can kind of see there, holes for those so that we have something to grip into. So when I put these together, we get a nice solid close to them. There's enough flex in the PLA, even though it's fairly thick with infill to get that. And then to get it open, I actually kind of have to use a little spudger because it just won't come apart. Otherwise, we can kind of go in there and get that open enough to then go and like recharge it because it'll have a little battery and an ESP32 in there. So those are those little guys. I have similar little grooves on the inside, which is where my electronics are going to be on a little disc like this. This one I just printed hollow to be quick, but that just kind of pops in and out like that. We'll have
Awesome.
vinyls like click, and there you go. Some of these I have also parametrically letting you know the size, just because this sort of thing matters. And the juggling balls I've been using are 68 millimeter, so if I print them in different sizes, I'll be able to keep track of them, at least for now, and until I get used to it. So that's the little juggling ball 3
Awesome.
city.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
brilliant.
It reminds me of like the D20. I actually still have it here. And like one of the things that was kind of weird is like the weight of it sometimes affects. I wonder if you're gonna like the weight of the electronics and it might throw off or anything.
Absolutely,
like that.
yeah. It will not be as nice as a ball that doesn't have something weird in the middle of it. And I think I weighed it right now. These are lighter than the ones I'm using. These actually are a type of ball called a Russian juggling ball that has usually either a little bit of fine sand in it, or in this case, it's a silicon oil. So they have a bit of weight to them, and they don't roll as much because they have they're sort of offset. These are lighter than this right now, and we'll see once I get the electronics. It'll probably be close, but it's a sacrifice to be able to have some Bluetooth stuff, some lights, versus just a ball that's good for juggling. So.
Yeah, one thing I think we ended up using pennies to counterbalance because like one side was heavier than the other, so maybe pennies or something.
Oh, that's
I mean, it's gonna be hard to get pennies because like we're not gonna make it anymore, but
maybe you can use like washers, right? So yeah.
There you go.
All right. And tomorrow you are gonna do the show.
Doing a workshop show. Come on. Thanks. See you guys.
All right.
Thanks, John.
All right. Next up, we have Anne. Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
It's been a while. I've been working with the RP2350 chips that products that Adafruit has them on, the Metro, the Feather, and the upcoming FruitJam. And I've really wanted like really good video out for a long time. So I was looking at CircuitPython and not finding all the documentation on how to do that to where I could understand it, you know. So what I did was I started an Adafruit playground note on what I found, and then I was asked to make that into a learning guide. So I've done that, and it's now working. And here I am going to do a little bit of OBS magic myself. So you see me, and you see my FruitJam right here. It's connected through HDMI right there. And that goes to my capture. I got one of those little Adafruit dongle capture devices. Cool. So that goes back into my computer. And then I can see the video output, which is right here. And one thing I really wanted to do with video output, I mean, you can use Display IO and do all the graphics that Display IO does, but there's also this mode called Terminal. And what that does is you can put graphics and colors and text. And so you can start to emulate some of the things like IBM PC era programs that did the same thing. And also Linux programs which used a library called Curses. It's ANSI VT100 style. You hit escape sequences and codes to move things around and get things where you want. So what you see there is text and a little box, and that's all drawn. It's not using the built-in font for Display IO or Terminal. It's using what IBM called Code Page 437 font, which had all the normal graphics and some accented characters and some drawing characters. So the box is actually some of those extended characters. And so there's one each for the corners, one for the bottom, and one for the sides. So and and you say, okay, well, what's this good for, Ian? And it's like, there's a good reason, because one of my favorite games is from that era called Rogue, and it has like it's kind of a dungeon type game, and there's monsters and everything, but it's all character based, and it's basically using this kind of terminal mode. It's using the drawing characters from the IBM PC character set. And so to be able to get to this level, I can try to finish emulating the game much easier. So this is just one of the things I'm doing with the Fruit Jam, and hopefully there'll be a lot more. It's coming out soon. Make sure you you can look it up, Fruit Jam, on the adafruit.com website, and there's a sign up where you can say, I'm interested in this. And then when it comes out, when it pops up, they'll send you an email, and you can say, oh, it's in stock. I'm going to get one. Mm-hmm. And there's all kinds of things you can do with this, emulate games and computers. And there's some guides already in using Metro RP2350, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot more. So keep an eye out.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And
Thanks, Ann.
Everyone check out Ann's guide, learn more about DDI and HDMI. What's the difference?
Yep, it's on learn.adafruit.com.
You got it.
Check it out. Thanks, Ann.
Right. Thanks, Ann.
Thanks.
All right. And to play us out, we have Tim. Hello.
Tim.
All right.
Hey.
Hello. I have a couple of things loaded up as well, and similar to Ann and JP, I have a Fruit Jam loaded up here and input into my computer with a capture device. So this center screen here is being output by the Fruit Jam, and what I have been working on the last couple of days is updating the Fruit Jam library, which is a library made for that device that's got some helper stuff and some driver stuff for some of the hardware in it. I've been updating that library to work with the older portal-based libraries. So back for like the Pi portal and the MagTag and the Matrix portal and a bunch of those libraries, they had a bunch of projects that were built on top of this portal-based library, which allowed you to kind of fetch data from the internet and position it on the screen in certain places and apply images like background graphics and colors and things like that. So this is one of the older Pi portal projects. It pulls data from the GitHub API to find out how many stars are on a certain GitHub repo. So it's pointed to CircuitPython right here, but you could easily switch it out to your own repo or whatever you want. And then it populates the number, and it will update every couple of minutes or whatever. It will fetch throughout the day. So you can see the number go up as people star your project. And there are lots of others of these Pi portal projects out there. So I'm excited that folks, when they are able to get their hands on the Fruit Jam, there will be kind of this whole backlog of projects that are pretty much ready to go. You can tweak one or two lines, and then all of a sudden you've got that same old project brought to life on a big screen using the HDMI cable there. So that's one thing that I've been working on. And then I do have one more to show off, which is behind here on the camera. I have a Feather RP2040 with the USB host. It's plugged into a keyboard right here. I've got just a standard USB keyboard plugged in, and then it is plugged into my computer with this USB cable here. And one of the things about me is I kind of always been into, like, one of my sort of nerd interests has always been cryptography. Anyone who's ever kind of ventured into the cryptography world, you'll learn about Enigma machine at some point. And so this, applies to me as well. As fascinated by it. And I built my own sort of little toy encryption machine that's sort of inspired by, based on the Enigma machine. So I've got my keyboard here. The way this would work, you would have two of these, like you and your friend, or you could have more than two as well. You could share them out for all your different friends. And let's say you want to send a secret message. So I'm going to type in, let's say, the message Python. And what you'll see as I type it in is that it is going to send keys into the computer. So I got that plugged into the computer. It pretends to be a keyboard, and you can type into email or whatever you want there. But instead of typing in Python, which is what I actually typed on the keyboard, you get the scrambled version, the encrypted text here. And then you could send that over to your friend, right? And what they would do is they would take their machine here. They would put it into decryption mode. You can just press the boot button there to switch between encrypt and decrypt, and then they're going to type the encrypted message. So I'll start typing this in. So Z, and the clear text message comes back out over the segments here. So it doesn't get sent into the computer. So there's no way to steal it from there if you're trying to keep it secure. So I can keep typing a couple of these here. PYTHO, and then the last one there will give us N for the full message Python. So you can kind of send your message using the encrypted text, and then they can reveal it on their end using the segments, which is kind of similar to how to tie it back to the Enigma machine. It's kind of similar to the workflow for it. An operator would type in on a keyboard. It would light up a little light that corresponds to the output letter for whatever they entered, and then they have to like record that painstakingly, sort of one letter at a time. I've made the input side, the actual encrypting, a little bit more convenient by having it type into the computer there, but I have left the output side sort of similar, where you have to type and watch. I did give you 4 outputs with the segments there, so it's a little bit more convenient. But I really like that idea of it being sort of fleeting. Right? You can only see 4 characters at once, and it goes away as soon as you turn it off, or as soon as you type more than that. So that's the other thing that I have been working on. So yeah, thanks for hosting the show tonight. Thanks for having folks on and letting us share what we've been up to.
Of course.
Yeah,
that was
that's
really
awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Okay. Well, we don't have anyone from the community this week, but yeah, hang out on Discord if you want to hang out a bit and say what's up. We'll be there for a little bit. I guess that's going to do it for the show.
Short and sweet. Awesome projects.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Ask an Engineer. The times change a little bit, so we'll see what time they might go out. So just stay on the Discord, and we'll see what
For
time
any
they go
updates,
out.
yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.